Hello there, Seraphim17 once again. This is my Kingdom Hearts Critical Mode video walkthrough. That is a Neo Shadow. He's jumping out of the ground and taking a surprising amount of hits. And hopefully I'm going to change my Keyblade back now that the boss fight's over. But it appears that I'm rather enjoying the length of this one, as it is a rather large and far-reaching weapon. We're moving towards Xigbar, who is a very tough boss coming up. He's tough because he fights unlike any other, and he has the ability to do insane amounts of damage very quickly, and he's kind of a bitch. That aside, it's not that bad of a fight, and I actually do quite enjoy it. Before we talk about him though, we're going to go back a little bit on the gun topic I mentioned a few videos back, because I think I've thought of the ultimate gun control legislation. And if I sell this to America, I could become a millionaire, because I think it'd catch on perfectly. So, as it stands, I think we can all agree that something needs to be done about weapons in your country. I don't know if it's you make the bullets illegal, or if you make the bullets out of chocolate, so all the dumb bastards eat them. I don't know what you do with the bullets, but you do something because the guns aren't going anywhere. So this is what you do. Instead of having them in Poundland next to the bags of sweets, which, how do I translate that in America? Instead of having that in Walmart next to the bags of candy, is there a dollar shop in America? There has to be a dollar shop in America, because if there isn't, I'm inventing one and I'm becoming a millionaire. But anyway, here's what you do. You take them out of the easy access that they are right now, and you make signing up to get a gun really awkward. And here's what you do. You make people run a marathon before they can get a license to own a gun. That right there is going to take away 60% of your country's gun control issue, just in that, because there's enough people who can't run marathons who really like guns, who are immediately going to be swept off, and then there's a slightly smaller percentage of people who can't be asked to run a marathon, but probably could if they did the training that would be needed to do it. And there you go. Only the really fit people have guns, and I think that will probably be a better thing. I think I've solved the nation's plight right there. But when you think about it, you could make it like a geography test. Like, what is the average American's geography? Is it pretty good? Pretty bad? I'm guessing it's not too great. I'm guessing if you're anything like my country, they teach you more about your own country than they do other countries in geography, which is fucking redundant because you live in the bugger. Like, it's that strange thing of, there's no continents in my country, goddammit, why am I learning about us? We're boring. But there must be something that you do that cockblocks a bunch of idiots that would use weapons for the wrong reasons. and I'm stumped on what it is. And I always find it funny when they're like, it's our birthright, you know, we're a country born on guns. And then they quote the cowboys and everything. Like, do they not see how fucking redundant that is? I live in a country that was born on knights and swords and chivalry, but you don't see anybody running around with fucking claymores on our streets. I'd like to see that, but the closest you can get is a couple of drunks with like a shelf. That's about it. But I'm changing my equipment here, guys, all silly tangents aside. I'm not entirely sure why. I think I'm going to put on one of the team abilities. So I'm going for MP, and I think it's because I'm going to be using limits. Limits against Xigbar are a great way of using their immunity and doing big damage. Before this fight is going to happen though, there's going to be a dragoon fight here. And these dragoons have killed me, so be very, very careful. I'm also using what looks like one of the newer Keyblades that we've picked up along our journey. I couldn't tell you why. This must be at the point where I didn't realise just how good Decisive Pumpkin was when you do those ground combos with the finishers. And it must be said at this point, I kind of thought that the Decisive Pumpkin looked shitty. It looks like a knotted candy cane. And I know that's the point, but even so, I'm not that stylistically driven in these games. I generally go for function. But that, I believe, is the best piece of equipment in the game. Yeah, look at that. 6 defense. That shit's crazy. I think that's the highest out of anything. But to craft it and to synth those, you have to do some pretty serious stuff. However, it gives you no elemental defense, But elemental defense can be a little bit overrated if somebody doesn't do elemental damage. So, this is probably the first time you've seen me go through my equipment too much. You want to always be doing it, folks. Always keep on top of it, especially in this latter period. This is a boss rush at this point. We're going to be taking on bosses thick and fast, and they're going to be quite challenging. So here is Xigbar. So Xigbar is very interesting. He starts off in this kind of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on the SNES, Shredder firing bullshit at you moment. But instead of throwing foot soldiers into the camera like you did in that game, you have to knock back these projectiles. And you can do that by guarding as they're about to hit you. He's then going to turn up, and I'm going to try and do a little bit of guarding to knock his bullets back, to do some damage. And then I'm going to try and wait for him to reload, I'm going to close the distance, and then I'm going to try and punish him. Every so often he's going to do this, where he swaps the environment, and he's going to do different attacks. And depending on what the attacks are will depend on how to avoid them, how to reflect them, depending on what you want to do. My opinion here is take a few hits to be aggressive, but make sure you start your combo. As soon as you start your combo, hit confirm it into something good. Hit confirm it into a limit if you can. Hit confirm it into whatever you want. Even if it's just a normal combo and then Goofy comes and spins a little bit and Donald fires off some shit. If you can keep on hitting this dude and keep him stunned, you can do big damage. You notice how I've got a different Keyblade on, guys? This Keyblade is a monster. But just be aware he's going to get faster, he's going to get more evasive, and he's going to get more dangerous. The good news is if you fought this guy in the Data Org fight, you will have Xigbar down, because Xigbar doesn't reload in that fight. So you don't have an easy opportunity to get to him, so you understand just what the openings look like and exactly how to punish his whiffs, which is what you're doing. And you see, it looked quite easy, didn't it? It looked like me just getting up in his face and smacking him a bit, and that's exactly what I did. And he died, but believe you me folks, at any point in that, if I'd have got, you know, chain hit, I was dead. It's a very dangerous fight that looks very simple, but can be quite tricky if you don't know what you're doing. So thank you very much for watching, and you take care now.